The Cincinnati Bengals are heading to Minnesota this Sunday for a clash with the Vikings, and they're walking into this fight shorthanded. Quarterback Joe Burrow is out, and now defensive lineman Shemar Stewart will also miss time after suffering an ankle injury late against Jacksonville. Cincinnati's chase for a 3-0 start just got a lot tougher, but the door is wide open for new heroes to step up. All eyes turn to Myles Murphy, the 2023 first-round pick who's quietly logged under 30% of snaps through the first 2 weeks. That changes now. With Stewart sidelined, Murphy's workload is set to spike, and his mission is clear: create heat on the quarterback opposite Trey Hendrickson. This is the kind of opportunity Cincinnati envisioned when they drafted him: raw power, elite burst, and the chance to wreck a game plan. Coaches have been waiting for that first true breakout, and Sunday could be it. If Murphy consistently collapses the edge and forces the Vikings' pocket to slide, it not only frees Hendrickson for one-on-one looks, but also allows the linebackers to attack downhill. A disruptive performance here would signal that the Bengals' defensive depth can deliver even without key starters, and could cement Murphy as a weekly difference maker moving forward. The Vikings' offensive line has struggled with speed off the edge, and that weakness is exactly where Cincinnati can strike. Pairing Myles Murphy's raw power with Trey Hendrickson's relentless motor gives the Bengals a dynamic 1-2 punch that can keep Minnesota's tackles guessing on every snap. When both ends fire off in rhythm, the quarterback is forced to climb the pocket or release the ball a heartbeat early. Perfect conditions for turnovers. Quick pressure also shrinks the playbook, limiting deep routes and forcing the Vikings into shorter, safer throws. That plays directly into the hands of Cincinnati's ball-hawking secondary, who thrive on tipped passes and rushed decisions. If Murphy and Hendrickson can set the tone early, every Minnesota drive becomes a race against time. That kind of sustained heat doesn't just create sacks. It changes the flow of the game, flipping field position and giving the Bengals offense extra chances to control the scoreboard. The real trench war will be fought inside, where Cincinnati's offensive line meets Minnesota's rebuilt interior. The Vikings didn't just retool, they loaded up with power and experience, adding Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave alongside returning disruptor Jalen Redmond. In Week 1, Allen and Hargrave combined for a staggering 13 quarterback pressures, proving how quickly they can wreck a pocket. Even though they were limited to just 3 pressures in Week 2, their reputation demands constant attention. For the Bengals, this is about more than holding blocks. It's about staying disciplined against stunts, twists, and late blitz looks that Minnesota loves to disguise. One missed assignment could collapse the middle and derail an entire drive. Keeping Allen and Hargrave from living in the backfield will require perfect communication between the guards and center on every snap. This matchup isn't flashy, but it may decide the game. If Cincinnati's interior can keep the pocket firm and create even a modest push in the run game, the offense stays balanced, and the Vikings' pass rush loses its teeth. Lose that battle, and the Bengals could spend Sunday in survival mode. On Cincinnati's side of that interior fight, the spotlight burns brightest on Dylan Fairchild and Dalton Risner. Fairchild quietly posted an 84.9 pass blocking grade against Jacksonville, a number that reflects sharp footwork and steady hands. He'll need every bit of that composure to neutralize Minnesota's heavy inside pressure. Coaches trust him to make the correct calls at the line and adjust when Allen or Hargrave shift late, a small detail that can be the difference between a clean pocket and a quarterback hit. For Dalton Risner, this week is about redemption. His 45.3 pass protection grade against the Jaguars tells the story. Too many off-balance reps, too many plays ending with him on the turf. Minnesota's front will test his anchor and lateral quickness from the opening snap. A bounce-back performance isn't just helpful, it's mandatory if Cincinnati wants to keep the chains moving. Together, Fairchild and Risner form the shield that will decide whether the Bengals can stick to their game plan. Win their individual matchups, and the offense gains rhythm, letting the backup quarterback settle in. Lose them, and every snap turns into a scramble against one of the league's most disruptive interior duos. No Joe Burrow, no Shemar Stewart, and a deafening Minnesota crowd. Everything about this matchup screams adversity. Yet the Bengals still have a golden shot to open the season 3-0, and that would send a message to the entire AFC that Cincinnati's depth is as dangerous as its star power. This game is more than a September win or loss. It's a stress test for the roster's construction. Can the defensive line generate heat without a key rotational piece? Can the offensive interior hold up long enough for the passing game to function? The answers will reveal how well the Bengals can weather injuries deep into the season. A victory here would prove that Cincinnati's young talent, players like Myles Murphy and Dylan Fairchild, can handle playoff-level pressure before Halloween. A loss would expose exactly where reinforcements are needed. Either way, Sunday in Minnesota isn't just another regular season stop. It's a statement opportunity, and the Bengals know the rest of the league will be watching. The Cincinnati Bengals enter Week 3 as an unknown quantity. With Joe Burrow sidelined, Cincinnati must again push Jake Browning into the starting lineup. Browning has filled in well before, but many wonder if the success can repeat. Former NFL quarterback David Carr has issued a bold prediction. He believes the Bengals defense will struggle massively against Carson Wentz. Wentz steps in for an injured J.J. McCarthy, making him the first quarterback since 1950 to start for 6 teams in 6 years. Carr forecasts that, in Kevin O'Connell's offense, Wentz will throw 4 touchdown passes to carry Minnesota to victory. There were questions about the Bengals' defense under new coordinator Al Golden even before Burrow's injury. The unit looks improved, but its only tests so far have been Cleveland and Jacksonville, hardly a full measure of strength. Predicting Wentz to toss 4 scores is certainly bold. The former second overall pick has played in just 5 games over the last 2 seasons, and suited up for 4 different teams over the last 4 years. His last game with more than 2 touchdown passes came back in September 2022 with Washington. If Wentz really does explode as Carr suggests, it would signal the worst-case scenario for Cincinnati, while Burrow continues to recover.